From America's heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa.
All right, we're back, folks. Yeah, we are returning. We are at the top of the hour coming up. And I hope you'll stay with me. The Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We're getting close to the top of the hour, so we're going to do that right now. It is 4 o'clock Central Time right now, 4 o'clock in the Central Time Zone, 5 o'clock Eastern, and it is 2 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time. And you're listening to the GJRB Online Network. This is the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, here on Spreaker, on GJRB Online. And glad you could be with me. And we got a great show lined up for you for this hour. Got a lot of neat stuff coming up. And I hope you'll stay with me. GJRB Online here on Spreaker, the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, as we get started in a new hour of our program. And we'll feature some good stuff here. And this hour featuring well over 45 minutes of non-stop talk and music. No breaks this hour whatsoever. We're just going to go ramble all right on through. We're going to be on here right on through nonstop, and your chance to get in on the show. Gary.Russen on Skype, or if you're a Facebook follower, you can drop in on me by getting into the chat room. And you can do is go into my Twitter. I'm the Radio Maniac. You'll see the Antique Radio emblem, and under that Antique Radio emblem, you will find the GJRB Online. It says right there, and you see the widget, pull it up, and there it is. You can listen to me right there, or go and click into the chat room and listen while you're scrolling the Twitter if you want to. And of course, if you don't want to be on the radio with me, you can just join me in the chat room. Otherwise, you can call me by getting in on the Facebook in the Messenger and hit that call button. So that's how you can get in on there. So I hope you'll stay with me. We got a great show lined up in this hour. The Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, right here on GJRB Online. And hour number 2, as we bring you some great talk radio right here on our GJRB Online internet station here on Spreaker. 9-foot signal on our north end here, circulating our signal around the GJRB studios on 88.9 megahertz. So, well, here we are. Hour number 2. We got some good stuff to talk about this hour. We're going to continue talking about, and got a lot of news for you, and a lot of neat stuff that we're going to bring. So I hope you'll stay with me for the show as we enter our brand new hour. And hope you'll stay with me. We got 2 listeners still. Wow, we do have 2 listeners. Absolutely fabulous. And those 2 listeners can call me in the chat room, or get in the chat room, or call me on the Skype line, or in the Facebook area. Okay? In the Facebook chat room as well. So everybody that's listening in there, glad you could be with me today. It's overcast outside our Spreaker studios, and it's cool today. We're getting down there. It's 55 degrees at the GJRB Spreaker studios right now. 55 degrees, and it's quite cool. And we'll take a look at that coming up. Got a lot of really neat stuff coming up, so if you'll stay with me, as the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, here on GJRB Online. And we're going to continue by going into some of those stories. Last hour, we were talking about the McRib. McDonald's bringing that back. The homeless opera singer who gets a record contract. Absolutely fabulous. Yes, we're going to talk about this coming up this hour, too. The Cubs let go of Joe Madden in a nice touching tribute. And we're going to be doing, I have an email from them, which I'll read to you. A new kind of breakfast, sausage, gravy, stuffed biscuit. We'll talk about that coming up. And along with that, let's see, top level climate. They say the nonsense of global warming. And further down the line, Schiff colluded with a leaker suggesting he become a whistleblower from a Rush Limbaugh article. And we'll talk about that. And we're going to say goodbye to Diane Carroll. She played on the TV show Julia back in the late 60s. She was one of the first women to pioneer the role of a single woman, a single working woman. She had one son, a little boy, cute black little boy in this series. It ran on the glory days of NBC, the original Peacock NBC, back in 1968. Ran on how many years, actually? So 60. Oh, here it is. I'm looking at it. Actually, earlier than that. Oh, 68. Ran from 1968 to 1971 on NBC. Ran 86 episodes. So we got that coming up. We'll do our celeb birthdays too as well. I need to chunk through that and find my celebrity birthdays so we can do that, because I don't know if we have any birthdays on Facebook at this point. I'm going to look. Let me see. I don't think so. There might be one on here. Earlier in the week we celebrate. Oh yeah, here we go. There is one birthday. It's in a general family here. Destiny Dawn Shaw's birthday today. So happy birthday to her. We'll have a birthday greeting shout out coming up with together with famous birthdays, which I'm going to look for right now. Celebrity birthdays. You know, and I thought for sure I saved that site where I have the celebrity birthdays, and I think it's still here. I know I had it marked so I could go in there and pull up the celebrity birthdays that so I could instantly read them. But let's see. I'll go down the line here and see if I can find anything on celebrity birthdays. Here we go. Celebrity birthdays. Today's top celebrity birthdays. So we'll pull up that happy birthday thing, and we'll do that coming up here in just a little bit. And we'll get the birthdays for today. Celebrity birthdays. Okay. For October 5th. Along with that today, we're also going to give you the top 10 songs from this week in 1977 coming up. We'll do that one too. We'll pick some songs there. I'm going to do that while I'm posting along here. And we're going to do that here in a couple of minutes. So stay with me for that. You're listening to the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. And I'm going to continue posting. We already have 2 people listening live, so that's a good thing. And I'm going to pull up. Let's go in there and get that. I know where it is. Pull up the celebrity birthdays. And go into my, let's see here. Down the way, here we go. Where's it? It's always going through H. For happy birthday, H-I, here we go. Thank goodness this is alphabetical order. So I can find things right away. It's so convenient, you know. That's just it. All right, I'm going to do that and also take this show and put it over on MeWe, and I'm going to go to a couple of other places too. All right, let's continue our stories here and do that. Before we do, want a big happy birthday once again to Destiny Dawn Shaw. Happy birthday. And also a belated happy birthday goes out to Bob Huber. He had a birthday this past week. So a big happy birthday also to Michelle Nesbitt, a friend of mine from high school. And but for Destiny, her birthday today, we're celebrating birthday with some of these top celebrities. Big happy birthday goes out to rocker Steve Miller. The Steve Miller Band turned 76 today. Originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Also a big happy birthday to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's 61 years old. Great scientist, interesting man to listen to. But he was on Big Bang. He played in a lot of stuff like Big Bang Theory and The Simpsons. Had a PBS show for a while there. A very interesting one. Guy Pearce, he's 52. And a big celebration goes on. A big birthday comes to Kate Winslet, turning 44. TV personality Nikki Hilton, 36. And Jesse Eisenberg, turning 36 as well. Additionally, some of the other musicians and people celebrating birthdays. Clive Barker, 67. Rock musician David Bryson of Counting Crows is 65. Really? Memorial designer Maya Lin, 60. Actor Daniel Baldwin, 59. And let's see if we can find somebody else big celebrating a birthday. Let's see here. I think that's it. Celebrating the 96th birthday was actor Glennis Johns, 96, rhythm and blues singer, and Arlene Smith of the Chantels. I think I've heard that. And 78, rock singer Brian Johnson of AC/DC, celebrating 72. And that's your celeb birthdays that you're celebrating your birthday with today. And that's one of my favorite features too on this. I like doing those when we do a show when there's somebody in Facebook, my Facebook page celebrating a birthday. If you are celebrating a birthday and I'm on the air that day doing this program, more than likely expect your name to be heard on the radio as a shout out that you're having a birthday today. So I do that. So happy birthday from GJRB Online. And I want to go back and put the bits in place against let's see if I can find that again. It's down here. Down here. I'm going to pull down just a little bit here. Diane is saying goodbye to, again, actress Diane Carroll. Well known for her part on the TV series where she played a black star who kind of pioneered the single mother role. And Oscar winner actress Diane Carroll, she broke into network television in the color line. She broke the color line. She died on Friday after a bout with cancer. According to her daughter, she had the age of 84. Carroll, who was a consummate entertainer, she was a beloved icon. Career spanned several decades. Her daughter Suzanne Kay said in the statement, quote, "She paved the way for many who never allowed anyone to limit or define her." And Carol, who starred in the TV series Julia, I talked about that earlier, ran 86 episodes on NBC from 1968 to 1971, where she played Julia Barker, who was raising a young son on her own following the death of her serviceman husband in the Vietnam War. And the groundbreaking show marking the first time an African-American woman cast in the star of a show in a role other than that of a servant. And there have been other black actresses who scripted TV before, most notably Ethel Waters, and the star of Beulah, which ran 78 episodes from 1950 to 53 on ABC. Waters also played a maid in that comedy. Also Star Trek's Nichelle Nichols, who played Aurora on that series, the Enterprise chief communicating officer. She is still in a supporting role with William Shatner, Captain Kirk, Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock, DeForest Kelley on Star Trek, which was on about the same time on the same network. Carol was embraced as the lead character in this show called Julia, and it was a great series. I remember it as a kid. It used to, I don't remember what night it was on, but I'll have to touch on that one on our radio, television, and movie classics. So I think what we're going to have to do is set aside that article and do a little tribute to her on a radio, television, and movie classics, because she had a fabulous program. That was a groundbreaking series. Surprised that Decades doesn't run a marathon on that. Really good show. Anyway, you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB online here on Spreaker. And we got someone in the chat room right now. Ed Delgado, the Caramel Conservative. How you doing this afternoon, sir? Glad to hear from you today. Yeah, fabulous. Join me this afternoon. I'm doing real good. It's overcast, kind of chilly out here in Clinton, Iowa today. We're getting a lot of rain. We're under a lot of rain today. Imagine that. It's going to be chilly again for the next couple of days, and they're talking rain today, and then I think it's supposed to improve, but we're going to get... we broke the... I think we're going to get into the end of the growing season, because they're talking about frost in certain areas, I think, next week. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Weather change. Sad and yet not bad. I kind of like the first snow. But after a while, I kind of get sick of it. Like about maybe April. Getting some work done in the house while listening to your show on some GJRB. Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure to have you aboard. And we're talking about a lot of interesting stuff this hour. And was just talking earlier about Nancy Pelosi's son, who is doing business with the Ukraine. You hear about that one? Jen has already been debating on turning on the heat. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. We turned off our air conditioner yesterday because it was getting quite chilly, too chilly to have that on, so that's kind of down. But we were talking about turning the heat on last night. It was kind of cold. But, yeah, what'd you think about that one? Anyway, talking a lot about different things, and we're going to continue doing that. We're talking about... we were just talking about Diane Carroll, who played in the TV series Julia. I don't know how old you are. You don't know if you remember that, Ed. It was on NBC from 1968 to 1971. She died at the age of 84 today. Or yesterday, I think it was. But anyway, fabulous actress. Did a lot of groundbreaking work, playing other than a servant role. Great series. She was a nurse, I believe. And she had a little boy. Great series. On NBC for quite a long time. And also talking about McDonald's starting up the McRib. Yeah, they're going to start that up. McRib is back. And I hope that comes up. I think so far, I think it's like Utah, a few other states are already doing it. I don't know about Iowa or Illinois yet. But I'm hoping it does get here, because I got to get one of those sandwiches. And like you say, I'm loving it. Yeah. Bringing back the McRib. Absolutely fabulous. And let's see what else we got here. Yes, we got to talk about the story. Yeah, I saw your posting. I saved it. That bit, what was that? About these guys on motorcycles, and they were pulling all the smoke up. And that Swedish girl saying MF, you calling them names. But anyway, I guess, a liberal posting there from her. But anyway, I got another story from the Rush Limbaugh saying that Schiff colluded with a leaker, suggesting that he become a whistleblower. According to Rush Limbaugh in an article here from the New York Times, 3 people sent me this with all kinds of all kinds of bells and whistles attached to it. This is from Rush Limbaugh. Saying that I wouldn't notice it in the New York Times story, essentially, as reading this. I guess they're saying, let me see, we're going to pull this up. To share with the little nuts and bolts to this story, Democratic head of Intelligence Committee, Representative Adam Schiff of California, learned about the outlines of a CIA officer's concern that President Trump has abused his power days before the officer filed a whistleblower complaint, according to a spokesman, current former American officers. Some of the old nameless to say anonymous people, and I think it was just cut and paste now. This was from Rush Limbaugh, I think. A spokesperson, current former American officer, who could be anybody we go on, I guess what they're saying is that he was persuaded to become a whistleblower. Schiff was. Yeah, he was persuaded to be a whistleblower. Okay. I don't know. Maybe so. But, you know, here's the deal. Adam Schiff and all the rest of these people, it's all to make them look good. That's all it's all about. You know, smear the president, look, make yourself look nice and pretty. That's what it's, that pretty much what adds up to it. I don't, you know, I'm just tired of hearing it anymore. And I'm beginning to think about turning off the news because it's just getting pathetic. And I mean, quite frankly, all of the news networks, including Fox even, are turning their back on the conservative views. And I'm going to go and start listening more to Newsmax. Now, I have that on my Roku box. I have Pluto. And Pluto TV has Newsmax. And I'm telling you what, I might just listen to them more than any other news source. Because they're fabulous. That is a conservative voice. It's a conservative news site. And I like it. Here's one I like too. This is real good. Top level modeler says that saying that and this is I really think that Ocasio-Cortez should listen to this one. A modeler saying that the experience of the global warming has rejected. They're saying that global warming, and of course, like I said this before a long time ago, is a hoax. And I've said that all along. This article hard to really read, but it's just saying that this whole global crisis is nothing but nonsense. And its work not yet been picked up in this country, but is about to change. Writing at an Australian quadrant, Tony Thomas introduces the English-speaking world to a truth-telling of Dr. Motaka. And I'm going to probably break this, probably kill this Japanese name, Nakamura, top-level oceanographer and meteorologist who is preparing to cry nonsense on the global warming crisis. Evidence that the climate modelers, but not in the real world. He is as well better qualified as modelers for criticizing. But one this year, whose year 2100. It's just hard to read that. Anyway, the article is available if you want to try to read that. It's available on American Thinker, www.americanthinker.com. It's a blog. It's titled Top Level Climate Modeler Goes Rogue, Criticizing Nonsense Over Global Warming Crisis, with underscore between all the words. So if you want to look that up, it's just hard to read it. I think it's read in foreign languages. Oh yeah, I like this. This is Pluto is good stuff, isn't it? Caramel Conservative, we're on the chat room right now. He said Schiff is investigating what he is potentially a whistleblower too. Yeah, no conflict of interest there. Yeah, Pluto is a good station. I mean, I love that Pluto. They got a channel on there that runs all Doctor Who. I love it. According to, I like the other one, he said, according to AOC backers, baby, the other white meat. Oh. And you know the thing about this liberal thing is just getting out of hand. Really. I mean, all this stuff. Making babies is due to global warming. I don't see how they even put that together. But they're doing it. And I just laugh every time. It's just utter nonsense. It really is. We're going to go ahead and just keep right on going here because we're doing pretty good. And sometimes whenever I do that, I just don't worry about it. I just love I just love talking on the radio, and sometimes I like to do weather on the 5s, but I think I'm going to drop it to any time in the hour that ends in 5. We're not going to worry about doing weather on the 5s right now, as we just did weather earlier, but keeping an eye on that. And it's Saturday, and quite frankly, I just like to, when I got someone in the chat room, I change things around a little bit. Because sometimes I leave room for callers, and this I'm doing 45 minutes of nonstop talk and music and fun and stuff on a Saturday show. So sometimes I'll just kind of, not stop for anything, kind of thing. And when I do this 45-minute thing, 45 minutes of nonstop talk and music and stuff like that, that'll also include weather on the 5s. We'll just do weather on the 5s around 1:45. So 20 minutes, I'll do another one. And give you some forecast. I like to do that Weather Nation, but sometimes it's very hard for me to do it when I'm doing a talk show, because they don't always, their weather, and I like to do their weather map. They bring up, if you've ever seen Weather Nation, after the commercials, they bring up their weather map. And I love that weather map because I can do the temperatures. They give you the current temperatures, and I put it on freeze and read it. And then I go into their weather report. But it goes long and long. It goes like 5-6 minutes. And I like to do other things. So sometimes I'll just kind of focus on a certain area. But if there really is any major stuff, like last month before that, we had the hurricanes. So I was doing a lot of heavy hurricane coverage, especially when it came to the one that was the most recent one. So I kind of like, I like doing that, but sometimes I don't. I don't know. I could be, I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm getting in trouble for playing the Weather Nation over here on this thing live, but I sometimes are kind of careful in doing that all the time. So I'm just going to do weather a little later on. We'll do some temperatures in different parts of the country here coming up. Gary Russen program Saturday Extra here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. And by the way, I want to make an announcement. I had mentioned that we're going to upgrade to broadcaster. I'm still going to do that, but we're going to wait until December. And I think that's a great time to go up to the 3-hour plan, because that is our Christmas programming. And the bright holiday, and I bring all my Christmas shows on, and the holiday music, and American Christmas jukebox, and playing Christmas music all day. It'll be fabulous. And of course, I'm going to be bringing back my annual running of A Christmas Carol, starring Lionel Barrymore, the CBS Playhouse, and some other programs. And I'm going to also bring you this year the radio version of Miracle on 34th Street. I think I ran that last year. And I'm also going to bring you, again, a rebroadcast of the radio version of, I ran last year, the radio version of It's a Wonderful Life. So those are really good. In fact, that radio version of It's a Wonderful Life actually does star Jimmy Stewart. So it's absolutely fabulous radio production from Lux Radio Theater. So we're going to air that coming up in the holidays. And, of course, my annual running on Halloween on around the 30th, October 30th, is going to be my annual running of War of the Worlds, CBS Mercury Theater of the Air, featuring the classic radio broadcast that scared everybody into believing that aliens actually landed, which makes you wonder about how media influenced people even back in 1938. I mean, it just does, because people believed this, okay? And that's why I like to run it every year, because it just shows exactly what I've said before, how media will make you believe anything they want you to. It's amazing. You're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning in this afternoon, Ed, and I hope you'll stay with me. We're going to be, I got some more stories, and I'm looking for some more. I'm going to do a scroll through my little favorite feature here called Scroll Through Social Media, and I love that part. Is it?
Social media.
Yeah, I got to turn that up. Facebook, Twitter, and some of the other social sites, including MeWe, and maybe someday when we get that back, Convo. I wish that'd come back real soon. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Convo. I hope they come back real soon. I miss them. I'm going to be posting there too. And I'm trying to post on Instagram. I'm having a heck of a time doing that. I would love to have the show on Instagram. By the way, you can also listen to the show on Spotify and Google Podcast. So check that out. The Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. I downloaded that picture you sent me, and now I can't find it. I don't know where I put it. I have to look all over the computer for it. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, here he's with it. Oh, yeah, he says, the War of the Worlds has to be one of the most epic troll that was ever done to a mass audience. Absolutely. You know what? When you really listen to it, if you listen to that, when I played, and I played it over and over and over and over again, and you listen to the end where he says, what Orson Welles says, when I come to the door and something about jump up and say boo or something like that. I can't remember all the whole line of that story. It's not. I don't remember. I have to look. But anyway, I'll send it to you again. No problem. Okay, I'm gonna have to put it. I bet you I put it somewhere. It's got to be. It's probably either somewhere in my GJRB folder or in my talk show folder. I don't know where I stuck it, but it'll be hilarious if I find it. I'm gonna laugh because I'll have 2 copies of it, which is okay because I could probably have it for my church studios too. I'd love to print it. That's what I love to do and put it up in the church studios over on the other side of town here. It'd be really cool because we have a bulletin board back there. That would be really cool. Anyway, you listen to the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra. I said that already. It's 4:31 Central Daylight Time, 5:31 Eastern, 2:31 Pacific, 1:31 in Alaska, and I think it's like still morning in the last hour in Hawaii. So there you go. Pretty good at doing that time, don't I? Yeah, I like to do my time zones, and I can go here and on my smartphone, and I have time zones on here. Let's see. I'm gonna stop that a minute. I got time zones actually. Let me see here under my world thing. I can give you time in different parts of the world. Like, let's see. Let's go to Paris, France. It's 11:32 p.m. there, Paris, France. Go to, let's see. Let's see here when we go down a ways. Okay, how about London, England? 10:32 p.m. in London, England. San Jose, California, 2:32 p.m. Let's see, and then we go to Queensland, which I think is New Zealand. It's 7:32 in the morning there, so I'm on in the morning in New Zealand. Yeah, how about that? I'm on in the morning in New Zealand. Let's see, where else could we go? Mexico City, 4:32 p.m. Miami, Florida, 5:32. Sacramento, 2:32. And, of course, San Francisco, I reported this earlier, this morning, San Francisco, California had a 3.5 magnitude earthquake. It was felt in all the way down into San Jose. 3.5 magnitude with some small aftershocks in San Francisco this morning. And I got cousins living in Sacramento area around Davis, California. Not sure whether they would have felt that, but it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't. If they did, because it would not that far. When I was out there, San Francisco was my uncle took me there, and it was for a day trip, and it was fun. I enjoyed that an awful lot, and but I didn't get a chance. I was there and didn't ride the cable cars. Could you go figure why didn't I ride the cable cars? That was one of the reasons why I wanted to go to San Francisco. Other than I wanted to go, I mean, the next time I ever get to go there, which I don't know if I'd ever get to go there again, I wanted to go in to see the Alcatraz. I really wanted to see that. They say that's an interesting tour. Somebody that I know went to school with, she went on that tour. A lot of has a picture of her in one of these cells, and this cell's still there. A lot of the stuff still there. And interesting story on that. Anyway, here's the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, cool day today, and we'll have. I'm going to probably take a musical break here pretty soon, and flip over. I usually let me search for something real good. I said I was going to look for something. I'm going to go to my YouTube for a minute because there's another album. I was talking about U2 early, which is one of my favorite rock groups of the late 80s, early 90s. They were an outstanding band. I love their music. Absolutely fabulous. And earlier I played their hit from 1989, which is called One. Absolutely fabulous song. But there was another one they had out in 1997. It was called Staring at the Sun. I had the CD someplace and I can't find it, so I'm gonna, let's see. Staring at the Sun by U2. 1997 CD. Absolutely fabulous song too. And we'll go out with that when we go into break. Absolutely incredible tune. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll do more scroll through social media, see what you are posting all over the internet. Some of the postings from different people. We'll go to Facebook, we'll go to Twitter, and even MeWe, among other places. So stay tuned for that. And we'll have another weather on the fives and take a look at some cities and temperatures and see what's going on across the globe here in weather. We might even try a foreign country too, so you never know. We might do something in a foreign, somewhere. Maybe Hawaii. I'll do Hawaii. I don't see what the weather is like. We'll do that. We'll do that. All the weather on the fives, 25 and 45 minutes past the hour. All music shows, 25 and 55. Talk shows are any time in the hour that ends in 5. Right here on GJRB Online. And we'll give you the weather complete for you. And news. We're doing that. Of course, this is a news program. And I leave it open for you to call in and talk. So you're welcome to do that. Gary.Russen on Skype. And if you are a Facebook friend and follower, you can get into the chat room there, and where it says we're in the messenger, and just hit that call button and get in on the show and talk to me live right here on GJRB Online. Coming up next hour also, we'll give you our shout-outs. I love doing those. The Spreaker Podcasters shout-outs coming up on GJRB Online. And I've seen the numbers on this show are a little better than all the shows I do in the week. Which means I really am going to hang on to this program. Even though this guy in Pittsburgh, doesn't call on the air anymore or get on here because he's busy, I still do this show because I think the numbers are looking good for it. And I like doing this on Saturday anyway. But next Saturday, I'm going to be doing a complete turnaround. I was either not going to be on the air at all or be on earlier. The Iowa Hawkeyes have an early game next Saturday. And I'm thinking about, it's a late game. I thought I had the Hawkeyes up here, but I guess I took it out. I'll have to get it later. So if they're going to have a late game, I think 6:30, something like that, through the networks, I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to be on, if I go on at all, be at around 12 o'clock noon or 1 o'clock. Short abbreviated sports page. Sports talk show. And we'll do some sports. So that'll be what we'll do next week. So tune in for that. Next Saturday, we'll do a sports page until the Hawkeye game, which will be the pre-game. That's brought to you through the on my closed circuit signal, and so I'll probably be doing that over on 107.9, my Talk FM frequency, and that will lead right into the Hawkeye game. Iowa Hawkeyes carried off partner station KROS here in Clinton, Iowa at 1340 AM, FM 105.9 translator. Great station, one of the great stations in this town that's still live radio. Absolutely fabulous. KROS. Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Even though it's beyond, I missed the start time for that song by U2. So I'm going to do is start it in the next segment. So I'm just going to stay here to the end because I missed it. The song runs 4 minutes and 25 seconds, and I missed that 4:25 window to start it, to count down. So I'm just going to start it in the next part. And right after that, about 5 minutes to the hour, we'll do a weather on the fives. So we'll just stick around here and talk about what we got coming up next week here on GRB Online. I'm going to be broadcasting live from the church studios. Trying to get my wife on with me. We're talking about this possibility of doing a show there Thursday, not Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, Christian Rock Twin Spin Tuesday on my Christian album oriented rock format. That's Christian rock. It's that now. What this actually is my format. I made it up because I was raised listening. In the time when I was growing up as a kid, I listened to album rock radio. You know, the heavy album rock radio, playing tracks from albums, kind of thing. Well, what I did was I took the album rock radio format and twisted it to Christian and made it Christian album oriented rock. Well, I do a thing called where I got this from a couple stations. One I think here in the Quad Cities, referred to as 97X. Used to do this on Tuesdays. It was called 2 for Tuesday. I don't know if any of the album rock stations do this. But it was the thing they would do where they would play 2 songs from the same artist back to back. I came up with that. I called it Twin Spin Tuesday, and it's the Positive Rock Show Twin Spin Tuesday. I play 2 songs, track from an album from that artist, and then follow it by a hit track. And it's pretty cool. And my influence being album rock radio, I used to do that. And the other one was, and I don't know if any of the album rock stations did it in your area, but they used to do a block party weekend where they would play 4 or 5, sometimes just mainly 4, maybe a bonus track, but usually 4 blocks of a song from the same artist, otherwise known as a mini concert. Remember, they used to do that too. And when CDs came out, they used to do that. But anyway, I know I always liked the album rock format. Always wanted to do it. When I was going to college, the first time for radio I was over in Cleveland, Ohio. Rock Block. When I was in Cleveland, Ohio, everybody got to do that format but me. When I was doing when they were, and I never got to do album rock. So I decided I'm going to do album rock myself on my own station. So when I went home and started cranking up my old WGJR, and I'll talk about this on the next break, I started out my album rock format, and I love doing that. So there you go. Going to take a break here and station identification as we flip over to the other side. And I'll be right back with more of the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, after we take this break for Station ID on the GJRB Online Network.
This is the GJRB Online Network.